Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel, and we are covering Pulsechain. It's got to be my favorite thing up at the moment. I think it's going to be huge for the community, cryptocurrency community, going to be massive. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff. Hopefully I'll get you some insights based on my thoughts on it, and also we're going to look at the latest, basically the biggest thing from Richard Hart with his tweets that really indicate that the Pulsechain sacrifice stage, it's the first stage, first sacrifice, then a main net. In between that will be snapshot, and I think it's going to be huge. And these tweets are a big signal that it's coming very soon. Now we already knew that it was going to come within 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be on the early side of that. And these tweets kind of give me that encouragement that is the case. Let's quickly go into the chat, of course, and quickly check some of the comments in the chat. Obviously, this is the website here, https. And that is pulsechain.com. So that is the official website. Always use the official links, never use a link from other ones. Always use the official ones. Make sure that you follow Richard Hart on YouTube. Make sure that you follow Pulsechain on Telegram. Make sure it's all official stuff, the official website, all that sort of stuff. Make sure that you are using the official links, because if you go to do the sacrifice, if that's what you're going to participate in, you don't have to, of course. There is going to be a copy over of tokens on the Ethereum chain onto the Pulse chain. But if you're going to enter the Pulse chain, the sacrifice stage to get Pulse coins, then you really need to use the official sites, because you're sacrificing your tokens or coins into that address. So pretty awesome stuff. Hey, Ken Homestead's in the chat there. Awesome stuff, Ken. Great to see you in the chat, and love the comments. If you're watching this channel, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and of course get into the chat, start commenting. Really appreciate that. And of course I do shout outs for any super stickers, super chats that support the channel. Big shout outs for those. Now let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. So here we are at the moment. We're sitting on the actual Pulsechain website. You can see there's nothing really updated on this. Basically gives you the basic status at the moment. Now everything is looking good. The sacrifice stage website looks like it's been done. They're just doing some final updates, which are going to probably go into this Pulsechain when it gets refreshed. That we're doing updates on a version behind this, and that will get updated. They got the Telegram on the top right, so that's the official one, and the Twitter there as well. So those are the official links, and I've left the link to this in the video description if you want to check this out. All right, so let's go for gold. So some of the things I wanted to point out, there's some things that's been happening. Ethereum, of course, the fees are generally lower, and one of the use cases for Pulsechain is the lower Ethereum fees by dramatic points, right? So Ethereum fees have generally been low. We've been enjoying, 10 Gwei, under 10 Gwei. But of course, the last day or two, we've had super high Gwei gone back up again, 90 Gwei, 60 Gwei. Currently, it's sitting at 34 Gwei. So that's the price of Ethereum. Now, obviously, the big issue for Hex project was obviously the staking fees, and that was a big issue. And so coming over to what was one of the drivers for the Pulsechain to, replace or at least complement Ethereum. And so it's going to have super cheap gas fees and bigger throughput, all that sort of stuff. And that's a big part of it. So a vastly cheaper payment system and staking system. So that's really the key drivers. And that's case is still there, super bullish, even when Gwei was down at 10, because you can see at the moment it's going up to 37.90 Gwei. And that's cool. So some of the benefits that have happened in the Ethereum space, and you've got to get the big picture. So we're looking big picture now, is that some people have been complementing Ethereum through second layer solutions, and we can think the primary one, of course, is Matic or Polygon, as you might call it. So they're doing second layer solutions. A lot of all the projects are jumping onto there. They've taken off a lot of the transaction congestion off the Ethereum chain, and that's helped to reduce the costs on Ethereum. So we're taking a lot of that volume off. Obviously, a Pulsechain is going to do a similar effect. The difference, of course, which is very crucial, is that Pulsechain will be a layer 1 and Polygon is a layer 2 chain, meaning that the team essentially could take all the tokens within 24 hours, and that's the risk there. You don't own the keys to your coins. They're on second layer, and that's important to know. That's a key difference. Now, the Polygon team so far looks very good. They seem to be dedicated to the business ecosystem. They're obviously making money on that big ecosystem, which is growing pretty awesome. They've actually got a live stream coming up in the next 24 hours, I believe, with the actual Polygon team. So that's happening there. But the main point I was trying to point out is that they have actually been taking a lot of congestion off the Ethereum network. Obviously, Ethereum is also doing the London fork, the EIP 1559, which is going to have a bit of fee burning as well as tips and stuff in that. So that's going to be a bit different as they continue to move, trying to lower the fees as well with that, as they move on towards sharding, evolution, and ETH 2.0. So that's all happening in that space, and so that means that Pulsechain still has that value proposition part is still there. Obviously, Pulsechain has other value propositions as well, and that would be copying over all the system state tokens from Ethereum over into Pulsechain, and also new projects that go on there. So they copied that system state over. Some of the projects will want to go on. Richard's already had people from top projects saying that they're keen about Pulsechain, and even the sacrifice phase that they're going to look to go into that to get Pulse tokens. Everyone wants to become a Pulse coin whale. So it's a good chance to do that, and that's what makes it super exciting to enter the sacrifice. Of course, if you don't have to, if you've got coins on Ethereum, you don't want to enter sacrifice, you can they'll just be copied over into the new Pulse chain, and then there'll be price discovery on the Pulse chain. So that's what's happening there. So exciting stuff. So that's a sort of a background picture. I hope that that's helped. And obviously, there's going to be new projects coming on the Pulse chain. There's going to be a value proposition over time, and obviously, it's going to be, as it says here on the website, it's going to be way faster. It's going to have 0% inflation, and it's going to have staking as well with the validators and earn fees, and 25% of the fees will be burnt. So that's pretty important. And the other side of it, of course, is that the Pulse chain increases the throughput of Ethereum by 4x by using 3-second time blocks. So it's going to be super fast. And of course, importantly, it's going to be a layer one. So you're going to own your keys to your tokens, and that's number one, I think, for security inside crypto land. So hopefully that helps. Let's quickly check the chat before I move on. Eddie Go's in the house. Hi, Superman. Hey, Eddie Go. Good to see you in the chat. Always look forward to it. If you're watching, get into that chat. Let's get comments away as well. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm super excited, as you can tell, about Pulsechain. I think it's a big opportunity in crypto land, especially in the current climate as well. Okay, so that there is the bit of an overview of Pulsechain. Let's get on to some of the tweets, which is the main topic, which is really giving a heads up here. So this is a tweet done by Richard on Richard's channel, and it's got, please install MetaMask if you plan to participate in the sacrifice phase. You must have it installed for the sacrifice page, which will be on pulsechain.com, and that's pulsechain.com is this page. So this will be updated when the sacrifice phase goes live, and we'll be having probably an extra page that will have the sacrifice where you can nominate your addresses. We've already got a previous video. We already covered some of those snapshots. So they gave us a little teaser about the sacrifice of interface. So which isn't up yet, which we already can see it's not up yet. It will issue you a unique address. So this is what's going to happen. It will issue you a unique address to sacrifice to on non-Ethereum chains. Okay, so if it's non-Ethereum, that's what it'll give it. It'll give you a unique address to sacrifice to on non-Ethereum chains. So that's important to know there. And that's where the link is. So you can see at pulsechain.com there. All right, so that was the first one. I just wanted to get, that was the first teaser. So really giving, and we hadn't had any sort of that sort of advisory sense before, and that's really stepping up. That means that sacrifice is really getting more imminent. Then we had a second one followed after that for ETH and Ethereum based tokens. There's going to be a single address that everyone sends to. All right. So for non-Ethereum tokens, there's going to be a unique address, and for ETH and Ethereum based tokens, there's going to be a single address that everyone will send to when they get onto the website. So it's going to be on this website here, and that's what's going to be the case. So you got a non-Ethereum, and then you got Ethereum coin and tokens. That Ethereum coin token is going to have one address that everybody sends to, and the non-Ethereum tokens will be a unique address that individuals that you individually, if you participate, will have to send to. Remember, you're supposed to expect nothing from it when you do the sacrifice, but of course, everyone's anticipating some Pulse tokens at the other side, and so forth. So here's the third one too. The sacrifice phase has not yet started. All right. So these are all dated the 6th of July. So the sacrifice phase has not yet started, and wait till you see Richard Hart announce when it will on all of his channels. So Richard Hart's going to officially announce the launch of the sacrifice phase. As I say, it's first sacrifice phase, then mainnet launch of Pulsechain. That's mainnet is when Pulsechain is live and up and running. Now, with the sacrifice phase, which is the first one, that will probably be running the testnet, public testnet of Pulsechain 2 simultaneously. Create certainly a lot of excitement, of course, and then we expect in the middle of those two to have some sort of snapshot of the Ethereum chain, which will get copied over to the Pulsechain into that order. So do not fall for fake websites. Do not send to fake addresses. Ignore imposters that message you. That is crucially important. There are scammers galore out there, and this is going to be a big target. Already big scams around trying to get Pulsechain, Hex, stuff like that. And so that's what's happening. So be very careful. That is a big deal. All right, so those are the three big tweets, and they really just give you that energy that on top of the last video that Richard did, that the time frame is well within 2 weeks, and this sort of gives you a signal that it's very imminent. So it's going to be super exciting. What are we on at the moment? We're about the 6th of July, 7th of July, depending on where you are in the world. And I think that we're definitely looking up. Maybe is it going to be this Sunday? That could be a good time. Ethereum fees are definitely cheaper, generally speaking, on Sunday. So we'll watch out for that. It could be this week, of course. So there we go. But we'll watch out. Obviously, with the Ethereum fees at the moment, probably not. It's up at 39 grey. Probably wait for some cheaper fees. So it could be this weekend. There's probably a pretty good expectation now, I think, based on these tweets. So pretty exciting stuff there. Let's quickly go to just check out some of the other stuff here. There's also been a bit of indication about the Sens Foundation, which is a special place you have to contact them by email to say that you're going to donate to them to get some Pulse tokens through them. So far, $8 million in donations have been indicated. This was 19 hours ago. Indicated that they'll donate so far. Wanted a good excuse to donate to Sens Pulse chain. Then you can go. It's a great excuse if you want to save your life or others, or now a great chance for fund the research. So that's the idea behind that. And then it's a bit further, just a bit reinforcement about the Sens Foundation, which is one of the avenues to get Pulsechain. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm just checking through here. Sens can accept stocks, crypto, anything, or Coinbase or Wise. It's tax deductible. So just another punch there for Sens. And that's about it for the Richard Hart stuff. Obviously, there's a bit of commentary there about Hex as well, and we're going to quickly, we could quickly check that out. But Hex has been sitting at about 8.5 to 9 cents. Is kind of where it's at the moment, just sitting waiting for that sacrifice. Who knows what it's going to go to after that? I'm pretty bullish that will blow past 10 to 12 cents, and who knows how high it could go above that. It's going to be interesting times. There was a bit of a sell-off that we saw, and that's what I think Richard's commented on. The sell-off here earlier today, 4 hours ago. Someone sold 21 million Hex in a single market order today. They used 1 inch and got 1.8 million USD for their 21 million Hex. That's 8.49 cents. The price, of course, recovered to 8.5. So some awesome price performance there, just showing how bullish Hex is at the moment, especially with the sacrifice looming over our heads. So pretty cool on that. All right, so that's that, and I think that's the main part. And then obviously with the market at the moment, we've got Ethereum looking pretty good, $2,300 over that, and Ethereum, Bitcoin at 434. And there are people talking about a flipping of a Bitcoin this year. Getting more people are supporting that with the market caps crossing over. So that's what we're talking about at the moment. Ethereum at 268 billion and Bitcoin at 640. Now here are the two differences. Bitcoin is a value proposition. Okay, obviously crypto generally is speculative, but it's a value proposition, whereas Ethereum really is yield orientated. Obviously with staking started in December, with yield being able to be generated from that. So this is the flipping, plus with pretty much probably around about 85% of smart contract DeFi sitting on the Ethereum blockchain or related blockchains. That's where the boom is. Obviously, I just said earlier, there's a lot of stuff on Matic platforms and projects using Matic on second layer. And so this is what we're seeing now. And there's obviously a lot more users in yield generation than there is in value storage and storage value. So we're starting to, that's the argument, that's the narrative behind the flipping. And obviously we're talking about a few more institutions and stuff getting into it as well. Now I did do a video earlier today on the crypto news and crypto markets. You can check that out. That goes a bit more into the BTC Ethereum, Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, and a little bit about the flipping potential. So watch out for that this year. Could be a big theme of one of the macro themes of crypto is a potential flipping of Bitcoin by Ethereum, and that's really driven by the yield-based argument, and with all the users supporting that. And obviously, it's going to be fun times, folks. Fun times. And then you've got Pulsechain in the thing. So here's some of the key deliverables for, particularly for your Hex. On Hex ETH, you're going to get Hex on Pulsechain, so you're going to double your value. Richard wants prices high on both chains, and so that's looking really positive. And then you got a third pillar, which is going to be Pulsechain. Everyone's trying to get the Pulse tokens. So you got those 3 value chains sitting there like that. Looks pretty attractive. Could be some super wealth creation, and obviously that's the big play. So let's see what happens there. I think it's super exciting, and let me know what you think in the chat, of course. And the other side of it, of course, is that I think it's going to be creating some incredible momentum and with these mega themes about ETH Bitcoin flipping, and then with Pulsechain as well entering the mix with Hex super duper returns as well. So it's a lot of stuff going on all at once. Certainly exciting, and there obviously will be volatility in the markets. That's crypto for you. But it looks like some massive value creation in the next couple of months and weeks actually ahead. So yeah, I'm guessing this weekend's probably a good chance that Pulsechain will launch, and that's my pretty much view at the moment. And those tweets kind of really gave you that excitement that it's coming pretty close. All right, awesome stuff on there. Let me quickly check the chat there. 16:30. Let me just refresh this page, and I'll just get into see whether they've got any chats there. We haven't got Alex in the house there yet at the moment. So let me just go back into there. So we're coming up at 16 minutes, and I think that's pretty good coverage. So hopefully, once again, this is the official site. We're waiting. This is where the sacrifice is going to be issued on. We already know that. There is some of the tweets. Now, I've left both of these links in the video description if you want to check it out for yourself, and obviously follow the links. And once again, get into the official sites and get into the conversation, particularly if you're going into sacrifice phase. If you're not going in, you have to do anything. You'll just get a copy of the Ethereum projects over onto Pulsechain. Now, there are probably 2 that probably won't get on there. It probably will be Axion itself, which happens to be the main content of this program, but also possibly Wise token as well. And also there are probably other tokens not on there as well, but it's going to be pretty much most of the system state on Ethereum copied over, and that includes Hex stakes. If you've got Hex stakes, they'll be copied over, so you don't have to do anything. But of course, the main point of this is the Pulsechain. I think it's a super exciting opportunity, and if you're looking at going into the sacrifice phase, yeah, probably earlier and bigger is better, but there is time-weighted price. So we'll see what happens to the price of Hex when it gets time-stamped on there. We'll just have to wait for the final gamification on the Pulsechain to see exactly when is the best time to get in there. Richard's basically said earlier and bigger, so we'll see how that plays out on the actual gamification when the when sacrifice phase actually launches and we get all the finer details on there. But pretty awesome stuff. So hopefully that's helped you. There's quite a bit of news in there, especially with those tweets about Ethereum coins will everybody will be putting into the same address, but the non-Ethereum coins and tokens will be a unique address for each person that decides to sacrifice. So that was a bit of good insight there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that one. Let's quickly check the chat, see what else we got. Alex Case, I love the Pulsechain content, says Alex. Hey, Alex, great to see you. And yeah, it's really exciting stuff, I think, and bolds really well. And like, I think this week is going to be it, man. I think we're finally here after weeks and weeks and weeks. I think we're finally here. What's this, week 5, week 6? So it's good to be here. Once again, I've got a whole series of Pulsechain videos on here. Tried to keep updated as we go. And man, it's going to be game on when it happens. It's going to be game on sacrificing tokens. Now, really remember, the sacrifice is based on the US dollar amount that you're going to sacrifice, and that gets time stamped at the time, I believe, when it goes in. And so that's a big issue. So you may not have to think about which tokens. You may just decide, I'm going to send this much US dollars and just go for that and see how that goes. All right, awesome stuff there. All right, and yeah, I think that's all of it. I think I've done it. No questions, so I think we might leave it there. We're almost at 20 minutes. Can you believe it? Now, also, we also talk about having a diversified portfolio on Axion channel. So if you've got diversified projects, it's always good to have different ones. Now, if you want to have diversification, consider doing Axion staking, picking up some Axion in the auctions. Check out the auctions. We do wrap Bitcoin dividends as well as Axion dividends above a minimum of 8% return. So APY can be, somewhere up and towards that, or AP 40%, just depending on a number of factors. But check that out at the moment. Obviously, doing auctions on Accent every day, so check it out. We'll be doing that later today, covering the auctions, the daily auctions, and it's pretty exciting lately. Super sellouts every day. It's been really fun with big wrap Bitcoin dividends. So it's another way of having some diversification. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll do another Pulsechain video, I'm sure, this week, because a lot is happening soon. All right, subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell for further notifications, and bye for now. Cheers.